So this client reached out to me regarding an old TV unit, and this client wanted to change it up and make it a filing cabinet. So this is my process of what I did. So previously I did a coffee table, a restoration of a coffee table, and people pointed out to me I should use paint stripper. So that's what I applied on this sides, and it took off some of the paints, but not everything. So that's why the good old belt sander comes in handy, and it took off what I needed to take off to get it perfectly cleared, all the stain off. Well, most of the stain, if I can say that. Stain does have the habit to sink in deep into the wood, and that can cause a slight color change than the normal pine that you get from the shell. Taking off the doors and all the accessories that goes with it, just to get that cleared out so it can go into the process of also sanding that down, getting that cleared out. Applying the paint stripper just to help getting that hectic paint, the varnish on, to get that cleared out. Removing the back panels was a breeze. Taking that off, just ripping it out, and then taking the nails that was left in, taking that out, and also just removing that, because at the end of the day there's going to be a whole full back panel that's coming. So this top part of the cupboard was really damaged and broken. I'm not sure exactly what the cause was that caused this, but taking that where there's dowels, taking that out is my next mission, and getting that cleared so I can actually unscrew it and take that top off and redo it and fix it. Using the drill to get that dowels drilled out so I can get to the part of where the screw is, I eventually had to use a screwdriver to try and force and get that little pieces of wood out to get to that screw. The top boards were so warped, I decided let me run it through my planer, and getting it flat again was the best option to go from here. Sanding it down with a belt sander would take ages, so I decided rather use the planer, get it done, and then afterwards I can sand it and glue it. The glue up process went quick because there was only two sides that needed to be glued up back again. So I clamped that up. I didn't tighten my clamps, just made enough squeeze out to come out, and I left that one side to move on to the next part of the cupboard. Turning this TV unit into a filing cabinet required me to remove one of the shelves that was there, so yet again drilling the holes by the dowels and to get to the screws to get that out, and I took that out and get that sanded down and make it sure that everything is perfectly, so I can replace it to the heights where I want to have it so that files can actually go into this guy. After the top was all dried and ready to be assembled, I assembled it, and then I went on to sanding it down in the front parts where the doors are, and just getting everything sanded off has been a crazy run, because obviously if you guys know me, I like to say I like to sand my life away, because this is the fun part of being a woodworker. So replacing the middle shelf where it needs to go, I marked it out, drawed my lines, then I drilled pilot holes so I can get the right place for where it actually needs to be on the outside, so I can put in that piece of shelf, and that will give me the right room for the filing that needs to go in. So sliding that shelf back in, I wanted to have it where it actually is perfectly lined up where I need to have it. I've got these clamps that's amazing that I can clamp onto the sides of my cupboard and onto the shelf, and it can align it up 100% where I need it to have it, so I can, when I drill my screws in, it fits perfectly. And that is, yeah, just an amazing tool to have. You can probably build these also of scrap materials where you can do that, but I've got these clamps and I use them. So coming to the fun part of the project is adding that stain and see the grains pop. That is what I like to do, and to see how the wood grains light up when you add that first coat of stain, and eventually when you get to the place of where you paint, it pops out even more. So yeah, it's really a satisfying feeling to do. If you enjoy watching me do these type of builds and restoration jobs, it would be appreciated if you take a moment of your time and hit that subscribe button, hit that like. I would really like to get this channel to be grown. I'd really appreciate if you support this, and if you find anything entertaining, yeah, let me know in the comments. Or if you've got some ideas that I could have used in my process that I can apply to my next projects, let me know in the comments. I would like to hear your feedback from what I do. If there's something that I could have done different, let me know. So getting back to the project, I used the rag to apply the stain, which I could have actually just used my spray gun, but I used this method just because I wanted to try something different and see how it actually came out. So with this lattice doors, it was really difficult just to get everything cleaned out. I sanded the door down with a sander, but getting into that small parts, I used the chisel, and it came out actually pretty nice. It took off that unnecessary varnish and stain, and it came out very nice at the end. So if you decide to do something like this, remember, take your time, take that moment, and really just take it step by step, because getting the perfect finish at the end is what matters. So don't rush it, don't go overboard, and yeah, you might just damage your. Now I'm applying the first coat of my clear coat varnish onto it. This is a AC varnish, so it means add catalyst to it, so it has a hardener element to it, and really this eliminates your makeup time on your project, where you should have waited 6 hours to 24 hours or whatever the case might be. Now you can just really wait probably an hour, half an hour, and your project is dry, ready for the next coat. What I like about the spray gun, it's quick and easy, that you can change it from spraying a direct spray or spraying a wide angle spray, depending on which side you also want. It really helps to get the full amount into that project. So spraying the thinner spray part on the smaller parts, and then widening it up on the bigger parts, just to get that final finish. So a trick of the trade is to sand in between coats. This helps just smoothing out your project. I'm using a very fine sandpaper here. It's about a 360 that I'm using, and that just gives it a very nice, where you apply, when you apply the second coat, it gives it nice clean finish to it without having any bubbles to it, giving you a smooth finish at the end. So with this back panel, I used 3mm or 4mm shutter ply. I also sanded it down and gave it a first coat of stain and applied 2 layers of varnish onto it, keeping the smooth and nice side looking towards the inside is that you want. You don't want to have the ugly side or the more damaged side showing to the front, because that's what you'll see. So I flipped this thing around and got everything sorted for the next phase. So squaring out the piece and then coming with my brad nailer and hitting the brad nails in on the sides. Also, then I'll mark out where the shelf parts are and getting that also nailed down so it doesn't come off that easily. So with this brad nailer, I came across a little bit of a problem where some of my nails didn't go right through where I needed to have it, so I just hammered that in. And then just giving it a sand, getting all that rough edges smoothened out, and then applying the stain onto it. That is always the satisfying part, to see that grain popping. Now on to giving it its first coat of varnish onto it and getting that, waiting for that to get dry. And then what I also did is, with this one I didn't go with a sander onto it. I went by hand and just rough edge, just sand it down by hand. That's also another technique that you can do if you don't have a sander. And yeah, just remember also to wipe down or just use a blower and just to get all that dust off before applying your second coat of varnish. So far so good how everything came out. Then now moving on to adding the doors back again, putting the hinges back and the handles. Also applied clips so that the doors won't open up by itself, so it just can lock in into that place where you don't have to worry about a door swinging open. Knowing that when you are placing the last little final touches to your project and knowing this project is coming to an end, it's oddly satisfying to know that how things has come along from where it was to where it is right now. So yeah, if you enjoyed this custom job that I've done for a client, yeah, like this video and yeah, let me know if there's any ideas that you've got, how I could have improved some aspects of this. Coming to the end of this video, I just want to thank you for those who've came this far and watched the entire video. Really appreciate you, and just wait till the end of this video and you'll see the final result. If you're keen to see another restoration job, go check out this restoration of the coffee table.